Okay, Tesla Model S, how to burnish new brake pads. I'm going to go to software, press and hold on the vehicle's logo, the model name, and then here I'm typing in service, right there, okay, enable, changes a couple things, going to come in here, brake burnishing, going to go agree to this. So it's warning you, don't do this while you're in traffic and whatnot. As you can see, I'm on a road all by myself. Start this guided process. This is pretty cool. So now I'm in drive. I'm going to accelerate to 46 miles an hour. Turn my turn signal off. It'll chime when I hit my target. Okay, and now I'm going to do brake pressure right in that target zone. So that's the, not exactly the PSI, but the pressure in bar. So kind of metric. And right now, this is the cool down phase. So I got up to like 46. I gave moderate pressure. I slowed down to almost a stop. And now I'm just kind of cruising, um, waiting for 20 seconds to be up. Now the rotor should be cool, so I'm going to reaccelerate to that 46 number. And now I'm going to brake moderately, about 30 bar. Okay, now I'm almost stopped. So the cooldown process, it's actually 25 seconds now, I realize. And so this is Tesla specific, but I can personally verify this is actually this is a really good guideline to burnish any and all brake pads. And so my cooldown is going to be up, but I actually just had a car come up behind me, so I'm not gonna do that brake unless they happen to turn on this road right here. I see no turn signal, so I'm gonna turn on the road just to get them off my butt here. Okay. Yeah, let me shoot back onto that road. Reverse. So this is a great process for all vehicles as a good guideline for new brake pads. Let's get up to that 46 here real quick. And then we'll do that braking, right in that, range. This is just like a typical braking pressure. And so, you do this if you don't have a Tesla, cool. If you did new brake pads and rotors, or I guess you could have done it if you just did regular brake pads, but I can speak on that for a moment. When you do new brake pads and new rotors, both the surfaces are new, they need to be burnished. That's the two surfaces basically wearing to each other, and that's gonna, they'll sometimes say like, oh, that's gonna bed the pads in or whatever. Um, that's going to essentially set them and break them in right, and that should give you the best performance and the best longevity, and etc. So anytime you do new brake pads, you should do that. You should do new rotors or resurfaced rotors every time you do brake pads. Um, and I did do rotor resurface on this, and I noticed there's a little bit of a funny wear on the rotor, so I normally, with a few stops, like what I just did right there, and I would actually need to do more, but this test is going to be over. With a few stops, they would kind of bed in. But on a Tesla or any other electric vehicle and a lot of hybrids, when you apply the brake pedal, you're not necessarily applying the brakes at all. So I had pads and rotors that had basically done nothing, um, because the pads don't squeeze. It uses the regenerative braking, which basically varies the frequency of the three-phase AC motor to slow down. So on a Tesla, you want to go and do this anytime you do it, through this guided procedure. On a regular car, you just want to kind of do what we did, a walkthrough, do some good braking, speed up to that 46, do moderate pressure. You may have to do that. Tesla calls for 10 times. That's a little more excessive than most manufacturers, but go ahead and do that up to 10 times. You'll smell some burning. Um, you may see even a little bit of smoke, but if you give it a nice adequate 25 or so seconds to cool down, you're not going to warp your rotors. You're just going to burn off any imperfection, like any oil fingerprints from your hands. They will leave oily fingerprints on there. So it's just kind of a cool. This is just kind of a cool visual for what you should do on all cars, but also hopefully this helps somebody if they got a Tesla Model S. So I'm not going to go through and do the 10 cycles. I already did that previously, but I thought, hey, let me make a video. So that's it.